Oh, g'day there. It's been a little while. I've been sidetracked with other projects. I haven't got very far with this Achaemenid Empire Satrapies program, which I started last year. But here's another one. We're looking at Sogdiana today, which is right there. It's roughly where Uzbekistan is today. It's sort of bordered at the north by what was called the Jaxartes River in ancient times. Sri Darya these days runs into the top of the Aral Sea, the north of the Aral Sea, and bordered roughly at the south by the Oxus River, which these days is called the Amu Darya. They both arise out of the Hindu Kush, really, which is the western end of the Himalayas. The northern one, that's the Jaxartes out of the Tian Shan Mountains, and the southern one, that is the Oxus out of the Pamir Mountains. So Sogdiana was renowned as a great sort of crossroads on the Silk Road. The Sogdians were very famous traders and helped really link India and Persia and the Mediterranean worlds all together. They were fairly independent, a little bit rebellious. They rebelled against the Achaemenids, and they caused Alexander the Great no end of trouble, fighting a fairly significant sort of insurgency, guerrilla warfare almost for a couple of years, which led to big losses for his army. Anyway, more on that in a moment when we go and look at the figures involved. So here they are. These are the Sogdian archers predominantly, and one guy with a banner. These are made by Resin Warfare, and they're printed by Potbelly in New Zealand. I'll put a link to them if you're interested. Resin Warfare, these are part of their Sassanid range, but I thought they would do quite nicely for a slightly earlier period as well. They're very nice figures. I've enjoyed putting them together. In fact, when I say putting them together, they don't need to be put together, they just need to be painted. They have these fairly characteristic up-curved shoes at the front, which are very cool. I've just got the 6. I think you can get at least 8, maybe 12 distinct figures from them. So a little bit more on this fascinating history of a bit that's probably the most well documented was when Alexander the Great came through. So he'd obviously conquered most of the Achaemenid Persian Empire, defeating Darius a couple of times, and pushing further east, intending to invade right into India. But prior to that, there was a rebellion in Sogdiana, which had been quite rebellious to the Achaemenid Empire as well, and had broken away a few times and had a period of independence between Cyrus and Darius's rules. So Spitamenes was the main leader of the Sogdians, and they fought quite a tenacious sort of guerrilla war really against the Macedonian invaders for a couple of years, and were chased all around the countryside and won some great victories over the Macedonians. However, Spitamenes came to a sticky end when his allied Massagetae decided they were on the losing side and chopped his head off, sent it back to Alexander. The rest of the main Sogdian nobles and a lot of their army retreated to an amazing sort of natural bastion called the Sogdian Rock, which has never been found since, but apparently was in the mountains, backed by mountains and cliffs all around, and a huge fortress that could hold 30,000 people, and apparently was very well supplied, so it could last for some years potentially in a siege. It was also winter, snow had started to fall, and it seemed absolutely impregnable. When Alexander got there with his army, he recognised this, sent an emissary to try to get a deal or ask for the surrender. Ariamazes was the leader of the Sogdian Rock at the time, and he laughed at him and said he would need soldiers with wings in order to have any chance of conquering the rock. So Alexander, as he was inclined, took this as a challenge, put it to his soldiers, got 300 that apparently had some sort of climbing experience, offered them fine rewards if they could climb to the top of this impregnable fortress. So they left at night time, 300 of them with ropes and iron tent pegs apparently, climbed in dead of winter in the night up a almost sheer cliff face. As you can imagine, a lot of them fell off and died, 30 out of 300 apparently, but the other ones allegedly got to the top and above the fortress itself on the mountainside. So in the morning when the sun came up, Alexander sent his emissary again and said, do you want to surrender now? And Ariamazi said, no thanks. And so then Alexander had him made aware of the fact there were hundreds of Macedonian soldiers on the mountain above, and claimed that, yes, I do have winged soldiers. So at that point, Ariamazes was so shocked and amazed that he just surrendered straight up. Didn't seem to think it even worth trying to fight such a general. And the rest, as they say, is history. So there you go. But yeah, these are quite unique sort of figures. I haven't seen any others made similar to this, so it was great to get hold of them. And I imagine they were very similar to the ones that fought during this era, the era of Alexander's conquest, and possibly even earlier with the Achaemenid Persians as satrapy troops. So there you have it. If you have not subscribed and liked and all that, please do. And as you know, we're getting very close to the 1,000 subscribers, so there'll be giveaways to subscribers at that point. So if you want to be in it, subscribe and comment. Catch you later.